Hello everyone, it's Karen from Dark Moon Emporium here, and today I've engraved on a mirror, made a decorative frame to fit it, and made it glow in the dark. On social media, I've seen a lot of people using lasers to engrave the back of a mirror, so of course I wanted to try it for myself. And it turned out to be very easy. I imported the image I wanted to use into XCS and I set my parameters to engrave. I found some 74mm square mirror tiles on Amazon, so I sized the image to fit in a 75mm square. I set the square to ignore, so it wouldn't be output. Because I'm going to be engraving on the back of the mirror, I need the design to be flipped. So I'm going to go to reflect and then choose reflect horizontally. Then I'm going to use the align menu to make sure that my image is centered vertically and horizontally. Using the infrared laser, I set the power to 90% and speed to 25. It's Future Karen here, popping in to say that I don't know where I got those settings from. They worked, but they were very slow. And what I found worked just as well was to use the blue laser at 100% and 400mm and 220 lines per centimetre. Back to past Karen. I'd made a jig out of cardboard to help with centering the image on the mirror, and I put a bit of card down to prevent me tattooing my base plate. Originally I'd looked for 100mm square mirror tiles, but I couldn't find any, so I went with the 75mm ones, which were the closest I could get. And then I found some 75mm box picture frames at the range. And so I thought, great. Only when I measured the tiles, they were actually 76mm and they didn't fit. But I have a laser. I can make my own. In XCS, I inserted a 114mm circle and centered it and added a square, put that on a new layer and centered it with the circle. And then cut it all out using 3mm plywood, and I did it twice. For the front of the frame, I started with another 114mm circle, and then I brought in a 73mm circle and centered them both. So this is the design I want to use. I found it on Creative Fabrica. It is in JPEG format, so there are a couple of steps that I need to take before I can engrave it. I don't want the writing that's in the middle, so I'm going to click Edit Image, choose the eraser, and then just rub away at the parts I don't want, and save it. Next, I click on Trace Image, and I'll move the original way and delete it, and I'm left with the path. Now I set the parameters to engrave, and I can make it the size I want. And I'm going to cut that out. So this is my light teak wood dye, and I'm getting it everywhere because that's what I do. That is what I'm good at. It's a skill. So that's one glove on. That is my well-loved work gloves, which I do like because I can use the same ones again and again and again. I don't have to keep throwing bits of plastic in the bin. And take a cloth and wipe off the excess. And I'm going to let that sit for a little while for the stain to sink in, and then I'm probably going to give it another coat. I belong to a number of Facebook groups dedicated to the F1 laser, and in one of them I saw somebody had used luminous paint on the back of a mirror, and I thought that was an absolutely brilliant idea, so of course I wanted to try it. I gave my mirror 3 coats of luminous paint, and while it was drying I stuck the layers of the frame together and got some catches which I screwed into the back of the frame. And I got the catches from Amazon. If you prefer, you could just close the back with some strong tape, or even not cut out the little door and just glue the back on once you'd inserted the mirror. But I just like to be a bit extra. Now I put it all together. I used a little square of black mount board as a spacer. It's a little bit small, but it was one that I happened to have cut for another project. It was lying around and I didn't have to cut anything special, so that's why I used it. So now it's all together. Let's see how the luminous paint looks. I'm going to give it a blast of ultraviolet light from my little UV torch. And just look at the effect. And there is the finished article, and that is it for this video. If you've enjoyed it, please do come back and visit again soon. I would absolutely love to have you. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and do have a blessed day. Bye-bye.